Welcome to our Get Boosted webinar for L&D Free Spirits. My name's Kim, and some of you know me. I've been a freelancer for 7 years. I own Go Ginger Learning Solutions, and I'm also a director with the Learning Network. Erin is my co-founder. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm also a director on the Learning Network, which is how Kim and I met. And I have officially been a entrepreneur freelancer for almost 2 years, but I have been freelancing since I was a teacher. So I've been trying to pick up gigs for probably the last 20 years. So it's exciting to finally have a forum that we can all get together and learn best practices and where to get jobs and how to connect.
All right, fab. Thank you very much, Erin. Okay, so you've heard a little bit of buzz around LinkedIn over the past couple of weeks about what L&D Free Spirits is all about. And this is where we're going to give you all the deets. Okay, so Free Spirits is going to be a dynamic and innovative community, which is just going to be for the freelancers, the self-employed, the small business owners of the L&D community. So our vision is for a world where professionals have the autonomy to craft their careers and the businesses in a way that aligns with their personal values and professional aspirations. Because sometimes when you start freelancing, all you want to do is just do e-learning builds, e-learning builds, e-learning builds, gig after gig after gig. Absolutely fine. That's what you want to do. Absolutely fine. And then other professionals, they think, I want world domination. I'm one of those people. So they're looking at how can they build a business? Do they have to get people in? How do they diversify? So we want to have a community that celebrates that and makes everybody thrive. Our motto is where the spirit of learning meets the freedom of freelancing. So you'll see that a lot on the socials and across our banners and everything like that. But what I want to kind of show you on this webinar is kind of a sneak peek. So the website is being built at the moment. It is currently in development, but I do have a wireframe that I can show you. This is going to be the front page. So this is what you're going to see when you first access the website. So this is what non-members will see. We'll have the landing page, which will have a few questions. You know, there'll be, I'm thinking a scroller panel. There'll be a link to the Get Boosted package. There'll be blogs, webinars, events. Then there'll be the membership sign up page so they can decide if they want to get boosted, if they want to become a member, if they want to do both, or if they want to sponsor. So if you're a company and you want to have a sponsorship package, then there's a link to that as well. But this is the thing. Once you log into the site, then you have a whole host of resources at your fingertips. So you've got your profile. You can build a portfolio, which you can then share with potential clients, reducing the need to have your own website. You can hire a free spirit. So if you need someone who's great at e-learning, click the button and it will filter it down. It will show you people who have e-learning as one of their specialisms. Plus, the jobs board, if you need somebody and don't want to go down the hire a free spirit, bit and selection, then you can just post your job. So I need a video developer. I need a facilitator for 3 hours work on the 15th of April. Can anybody help me? Then post it in there, everybody can have a look, and then you can get in touch. So it's facilitating that collaborative working element, which is so important to freelancers in L&D. All right. So a rundown of what you will get. Member-only resources. We're working on a heck of a lot of resources. We've got many ideas, don't we, Erin? Many ideas for like finding your niche. Do you have to set up as a sole trader or a limited company in the UK? Or is it LLC in the US?
Yes,
I think, yeah.
LLC.
So how do you formulate that? Do you really need an accountant? that would be a heck yes from me, because just no, it's so much easier if you have somebody doing all your books for you. Um, Member only events. So some of the events that we're going to be doing are going to be paid events. Some of them are going to be free events, and some are going to be exclusive for our members, which non-members will not be able to access at all. You'll only be able to see them when you are logged in. Well, you'll only be able to access them when you are logged in. If we have a paid event or a paid resource, workshop, anything like that, members will be able to access that either free of charge or at a massive discount. The whole point of L&D Free Spirits is to give you everything that you need to succeed. And this is the thing, that there's lots of networking, other networking spaces in L&D. I'm a member of some, and I'm sure you are all as well. But nothing is really just for the freelancers. Not on the scale that we're going to be doing it. Just remember, this is going to be like world domination, global empire. The platform that we're creating is something that is for the freelancers. It's going to be run by freelancers. It's not going to be something that is open to everybody. You've got to be a freelancer to come in, kind of vibe. As I said earlier, you can also host and share your portfolio. So we're working on building the site. So the portfolio is behind the paywall, so to speak, but you'll have a link that you can send to external people. So it will give them a snapshot of your portfolio, and you could upload on there your bio, your links, a video reel. So if you did a show reel of an e-learning that you've built or a show reel of a webinar that you've delivered, you could have those on there as well, plus PDFs. So we're working at bringing as much functionality to that as is humanly possible to add that value to you. And then the access to the jobs board that we've just looked at, and member-only networking events. So those are going to be virtual initially, but as L&D Free Spirits grows, we'll look at building these networking events in different hubs throughout the globe. So Erin is based over in the US. So, speakeasy, like co-working, networking events everywhere. This is the vision. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but that's what we're planning. When you've been looking online, if you're following us on LinkedIn, you'll have seen the 90-day booster package being promoted. Now, the booster package will be available to everybody on the 1st of September when we launch the full site. But we are doing a pilot, which is starting on the 1st of June. And this is looking to boost your brand, your network, and your portfolio. So in month 1, we're looking at increasing your professional network, specifically on LinkedIn. So how do you connect with people? How do you engage with people? How do you build your reach? Not just within the L&D community, but looking at what sectors are you, specifically going to target. So for instance, one of my specialisms is contact centers. So I know that I don't need to just increase my network in L&D, I need to increase my network in contact centers, because potentially I can leverage some contacts and get work out of it without selling. Month 2 is boost your brand. What does it take to build a brand? What colors should you use? What logo? How loud should it be? What are the messages? How do you work your values into it? All of that is going to be covered in month 2. And then finally, in month 3 is build your portfolio. How do you get around an NDA? Because that is a question quite a lot of people ask me. It's like, I've got loads of really great stuff, but it's covered under NDAs. What do you include? What do you not include? How much is too much? If you've got a video that's half an hour long, do you include a half-hour video, or do you include your show reels? So that's all going to be covered in Boost Your Portfolio. And the booster package really was the brainchild of Erin. when we were scoping this out it was December, wasn't it, when we had our first call?
Yep.
And we were saying, wouldn't it be great to create the community? And Erin was like, well, you can tell the story if you like. It's like, oh, this booster would be great.
Well, I think the big thing for me is as a new freelancer, I didn't know where to go. There are so many people out there, so many websites you can click on, so many resources. And a lot of times they really weren't for me. They were for big companies or they were for people transitioning from one place to another. So, what we really wanted to do was to give you a place to start. So, a place that, we both know the way to get started is your network. So, it might
Hmm.
be that you're boosting your network for a year before you're ready to go off full time. We also both know it's important to have a brand. You can be a great instructional designer, but if you really want to move from just getting contracts to building something bigger, you need to have that brand. And if you don't have a portfolio, to Kim's point, that is customer focused rather than designer focused, you're not going to get work. So, really, this was a point of quality for us. We want to make sure that everyone as who is part of the thank you so much, Tom. We want to make sure that everyone who's part of the network also has a certain level of quality. So they understand that. So I can call Dom or Haley and I know that they have been qualified to be a member. I know they have these basic pieces and skills and abilities so that I could call on them. Same thing, we want to make sure that the employers who are coming to the website know, like, this is a free spirit. Like, we know they have X, Y, and Z. So even if you just come on and say, you know what, I just want to try the booster pack, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm ready for this, this might be a good spot. But that's why we wanted to offer this that we both know from experience is huge value add.
Yes, massive value. I mean, when I first started as a freelancer, I had zero network apart from people that I had just worked with before. So I got no work for 8 months when I first started out because I had no idea. I had no idea about my brand. I had no idea about a portfolio or anything like that. So it was all of the things that are like the freelancer 101. What are the three most important things that you need
Yeah,
as a freelancer? And yeah, Dom, you're right. Freelancing is feast and famine. Need
yeah.
to consolidate and be regular during the tax year. Yes,
I
for
just
definite.
got a great piece of advice. Whatever your goal is, let's say you want to bill $100,000 a year, you actually need to do 10 times that amount of activity. So you need to be sending out 10 times applications, 10 times, meetings and networking. And because to your point, the hardest thing about freelancing is you don't know. You don't know when
Yeah.
it's going to come. But I think with this booster pack, you're going to be able to plan your year and plan your activity, and then also start to step back and say, yeah, that was a good use of my time and money, or yeah, that was a good use of my resources, or really wasn't, or that wasn't a good client, but it
Mm,
allows you to be really thoughtful about building a business rather than just doing design work, which is two different things.
yeah, exactly. And to add to that point, in month one, Boost Your Network, there's actually a social media calendar which will help you track engagement per post. And there's a dashboard and it's got a lot of formulas and things. It's quite fancy. And you get that towards the end of month one. So you've done all this learning, you've started to build your network, you've started to engage, and it's like, right, so let's start tracking and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And it could be what time frame works, what days work, what content works, what visuals work. So there's a lot that goes into it, and it's building that momentum. Okay, so I'm going to show you what one of the emails that you'll receive looks like. So this 90-day booster package, you get an email every couple of days. So it is self-led. This is the first one that you would receive. So it's Boost Your Network. It's welcoming you to the program. And there's a video in there as well. And these videos are only for people on the booster package. They're not available to anybody else. They are exclusive to the booster package. This one also has a smart worksheet, which is an editable PDF that you can download as well. So some of the emails, you can see we've got a bit of an intro, then we've got today's focus. So you're going to have a focus. This is what we're looking at today. And then action steps. So what do you need to do for this focus? And like I said, every couple of days, you're going to have something with another focus. So the momentum, it's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you moving forward. And then, like I say, you've got the first 30 days of network, and then 30 days of brand, boost your brand, and then 30 days of boosting your portfolio. So we've done it in that order because networking is your biggest asset. So you need to get on it. You need to start doing that. Run, don't walk. It's limited time to sign up to the booster pilot. You're going to be saving 30%. So it's £175 if you sign up by the 31st of May, midnight, which is next Friday. It's usually going to be £250. Plus, people who sign up to the booster pilot will also receive a lifetime discount off the annual membership fee when we launch in September. So there's that added bonus as well. And that's only going to be if you sign up to the pilot, that you'll get a lifetime discount of £100 per year off the annual membership. So get signed up to the wait list. You can join the Legion of Free Spirits. The wait list is going to have exclusive offers, discounts, and you're going to be the first to hear, first access. So we might let a few people in to have a play around with the website when it's built. Maybe a few early signups, but you're only going to find out if you can do that if you sign up to the waitlist. And that's ldfreespirits.com. You can also sign up to the booster package while you're there as well. And we have a quite fancy promo video on the site. So I'm just going to open it up. Does anybody have any questions that they would like me to go through? And while I'm giving you a moment, I'm just going to bob a few links into the chat bar just for our socials and the website, just to make it easier for you to find everything. There you go. So I'll just give you all a couple of moments. And while you're thinking about any questions that you've got, I'll just move over. Well, Erin, have you got anything else that you want to tell anybody about on this? I mean, what was your drive to set this up?
Well, I think, one thing that frustrates me is a lot of times in the learning space, we're just talking about learning. We're not really talking about business. And it's, my transitioning teachers, I used to be a teacher, going from education to business is a big jump. Well, the same thing, going from being part of a learning team to doing it out on your own, that's a big jump. And the resources out there are not out there, and they're not out there for us. They're really expensive. It's hard to wade through. And then once you do have the resources, and especially in the US, it's very difficult to get started. And, as Kim and I were talking about the differences, we don't have forums in the US to say, oh, look, they're looking for all of these people in learning. So it really is trying to wade through what works and what doesn't, learning how to run a business, learning what resources are there out there, but then where do you go? So it's really nice to have the idea that there is a job board, there's connections to employees, there's connections to each other. And because we've all gone through the booster pack, as I said before, we all recognize expertise in each other, and we all can trust each other and recommend each other. And that's quite different than some of the other networks and some of the other opportunities out there, because this is really a group for working people. We won't we don't have time for book studies. We don't have time, what we have time for is to work. And so I think if you see yourself like, I am a worker, this is my living, this is what I want to do, this is the right space for you. I think if you see yourself as, I want to talk about learning and thinking, and there's a ton of great, including the Learning Network, great
Mhm.
spaces for you to go into. But Kim and I, and really this is Kim's baby. She's done all of this work. I'm just kind of someone who's going along and helping as needed. But the brainchild is, yes, we're in the learning field, but we are business practitioners, we are workers, we are doers, we are entrepreneurs, and we need a place to connect. And I will say in the US, there isn't one. So this is a space that's quite different. And if that yeah, digital acumen, yeah, we got it. We got it. But if that appeals to you, then this is a great place. If not, like I said, Kim and I can recommend a ton of other spaces for you. If you need to grow as a learning practitioner, if you want to
Mm.
grow as an entrepreneur, this is a really good space for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that kind of reminds me of, when you get these annual L&D research quizzes, you get the research studies that come out. How many people in your organization, once you get past your name and demographic, how many people in your organization? It's like, it's just me. Great. It's like they're not, who owns the budget for your organization, who plans the development of your staff. It's all catered towards people who are employed,
Yeah,
not the self-employed. So when I'm filling things out like that, I'm like, well, am I thinking about the last place I was employed? That was like 7 years ago. I'm a bit outdated from what it's like to be employed, probably unemployable now. But this is what we want to change. We want to drive and innovate for the freelancer community. We want to champion the freelancer community and give you a space that's just for you. So there doesn't look like there's any questions coming through. So I'm just going to go to our last slide, which is basically make sure that you follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you'll get a notification of any videos when we drop them in there. I know that the screenshot looks like we've got one subscriber, but we do have a couple more than that. We're up to 3 now on there. Because we're growing every day, we're getting more followers and more subscribers. But make sure that you sign up to the waitlist at ldfreespirits.com, because that is really going to be the place where you're going to get most benefit from insights and being the first to find out what's happening. But of course, you need to follow us on LinkedIn as well. All right. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's come along and everybody that's watching on the replay. If you have any questions, reach out to either me or Erin on LinkedIn, or sign up to the waitlist and you can email us from there as well.